Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. And Mahomes going to put it up right away. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On first and 10, here's Pacheco. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race. But how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Now Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Just one catch for him last week in the wild card win, but getting involved early here and picks up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 32-yard line. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he's got it down to the 28.
That was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 14. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
This now a 3rd and 4. Here's Pacheco once again. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco.
An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are on the board first here in this division round matchup.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
Operating from the gun, Kramer. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9.
Back to throw. Kramer. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
That's to the left side where he's got Bowers.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 40. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Looking to throw. Kramer escaping the pressure right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing, but in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Again, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Hands it off out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Operating from the gun. Kramer. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Raiders are an extra point away from drawing level. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They go play fake. Mahomes.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Throwing to start the drive. Kramer. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 17 yards on the pickup. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down. Makes it manageable now.
Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Yeah, he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A big one coming in this divisional round playoff, 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Kramer. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Field goal coming from Younghoe Koo. Koo knocks this one through the post. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for it.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Pacheco. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He's going to look deep down the field. Touchdown! Xavier Worthy as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Butker on for the PAT. And that makes it 14-10.
Makes the score Chiefs 14, Raiders 10.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
That's caught inside the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Brock Bowers in the final seconds of the first half. And the Raiders have regained the lead. They had just given up the lead, and they get it right back.
Yeah, how about that? Answered quickly. Got right back to it. And look, long drives have their place. We know that. They can wear teams down. But when you hit them with big plays like that, that can really be a shot to them. A big-time one.
Yeah, one play, but now your defense is probably saying, man, we could have used a little more rest over here. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work to run it a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. Kramer. Flush to his right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Kramer. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, That would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
2nd and 6. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Kramer. Short throw caught by Bowers. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Back to throw. Kramer. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
All right, rifles one, and it's going to be intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
They go play action. Now Mahomes looking deep downfield.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. Down the sideline he goes. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Now a first carry here for their running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
2nd and 13.
Open man right side. That's McConkey.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 25 yards that time.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Looking to throw. Kramer. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Back to throw. Kramer. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A nice job to get 11 out of that pass play, but now they face a 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Kramer. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Koo knocks this one through the post, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Second and 11 now.
Mahomes now to throw.
He'll drop this off to Pacheco.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That'll give him 8 that time. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes.
They'll throw off his back foot there. That's going to wind up incomplete.
And the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Mahomes got to have this one. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. A fourth down, they felt compelled to go for it, and he throws the INT.
Yeah, he knows that you can't take a sack there, so he had to try and force one in. Now, this might not be a throw he makes if we're in the second quarter, but he had to take the chance there, and this one wound up being intercepted.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Kramer finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Now a handoff up the middle. McLean, and he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half, you've got the lead, you're looking at moving on to the conference championship, and he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Raiders are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this 4th quarter lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
The Raiders will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, If they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the fourth quarter, the divisional round, and they need to come up with something as they get this drive started. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw, it's Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On play action, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Mahomes. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, McClain. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Here's 1st and 10. Mahomes. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Mahomes to throw it. That's complete, left side to Worthy. And he's going to have a 1st down, but he's tackled inbounds up near midfield. Mahomes will throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw a second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship, and do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Celebration time tonight on the Strip as we say so long from Las Vegas.